Welcome, super people, to our super new digital SAT course. Today, I will introduce our course. I'll explain exactly what the course is, what we cover. I'll answer the most frequently asked questions regarding our course. Then I will answer your questions. So prepare your questions, please. And once I'm done, I'll be here to answer your questions. All right, so let me start by sharing this presentation with you all so that you can see. Today, we're introducing Super SAT course, the new version, the digital SAT. Digital SAT started internationally in March of 2023 and will start in the United States in March 2024. The new digital SAT is one of the best versions of the SAT ever. It's a really good version of the SAT, and I'm really excited to help you all ace that test. So let's start by answering the first question. Who are we? Who am I? So basically, I've been teaching personally students from all over the world since 2003. And our main focus since 2003 was SAT and ACT prep. So I've been doing this for almost 21 years now. I'm based in Raleigh, North Carolina. I used to live and work in New Jersey, Hackensack, New Jersey, for a few years. But 12 years ago, almost, we moved and opened here in Raleigh, North Carolina. All my classes are live, online, and we have students from all over the world. As you may know, a lot of students from all over the world take the SAT and ACT exams to apply to colleges in their countries or in the United States. So we've been doing this worldwide, online, for many years. We've taught so far about 7,000 students. Okay, it's really scary when I look at this number. 7,000 students from 10 different countries, and we still do so today. We have over 125,000 followers online. On Facebook, our page is called Gouda SAT. We have over 100 and something thousand followers. On YouTube, we have Gouda Academy. That's our YouTube channel. And we have over 25,000 followers, subscribers there as well. So what's our goal? In all of the courses that we teach, in everything I do, I have one goal with my students. I don't just want them to get very good, high scores and go to the college of their dreams. This is, of course, the overarching practical goal that everybody knows, but I want them to learn using mastery. I want them to become masters of what they learn. So we have our English portion of the test in our course, our math portion of the test in our course. The goal is that you, the student, master everything that we learn. So I don't want you to be familiar with the test. A lot of books, programs, and courses, that's what they do. They just familiarize you with the test, and then they let you study or practice by yourselves. Lots of students who do self-practice, basically, or self-prep, what they do is they familiarize themselves with the test, and then they just do some timed practice, and that's it. We don't do that. We preach mastery. We do this through a series of points or steps. Number one, we explain everything. So in our course, every single topic that appears on the SAT test, on the digital SAT, whether in English or in math, is explained thoroughly in details. That's really important. So we don't say, well, you took this in school, go revise it from school, now let's do practice. No, we explain everything from A to Z. Classwork, we do practice together in class. Homework, every single class has homework. So you have to know that the course has classwork and homework. Okay, it's not just get familiar. It's a real class with real work. Follow-up. It's really important that we follow up class by class after every single class with students and with parents. I'm always here for my students, and most of them message me after every single class. They tell me how they're doing. They ask me questions. We follow up with parents. This is a very important part of our course. Revision. And this is so important, the way we structure our course and the way we deliver our classes online. The students will have access to the recordings, the videos of the classes for the month they're in, so they can always revise the class. We actually do it in a way, and I'll be talking about this later on when I talk about our live classes, how they look like. We do this in a way where they can actually access the recording of the class immediately after class is over. So they can actually revise things that they didn't understand really well during class. They can just revise it right after class when it's still fresh in their minds. You can also revise the next day, the next week, before our test, and so on. We also have a system where we use a book, our book, which is like a month by month group of notes. And this notes book has all the explanation, all the classwork, all the examples, all the homework, everything that we do in our course. So you just have like this one source where you can study and revise from before your test. Questions. This is so important. So we answer every single question that we work on together. So if I give you homework and this homework consists of 20 questions, the following class expect me to mark and explain in detail each and every one of those 20 questions. So it's not like the traditional tutoring way where, okay, guys, does anybody have a problem with number 5? Okay, nobody has a problem. Now let's move on to number 6. No, we explain every single question, whether you think you have a problem with it or not, because the whole idea is to understand how to answer a similar question to the question that you got in homework on the test. So if you answer a question for the wrong reason, or if you just guess and are lucky, that's not going to help you on test day. That's why we explain every single question. We also have a method for you to ask me questions directly using Messenger. That's our mode of communication. And we have a special way of asking questions in our math section called our math helper group. And I'm going to explain this in detail in a little bit. All right. Now, before I go any further, I want to show you guys what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. So before you sleep, wake up, everybody. Let me just show you what we're going to be talking about. So what I just talked about was our goal. Next, we will move on and talk about what the test, the digital SAT, consists of. Then we're going to talk about which grades is this course for, what is covered in the course exactly, how long is our course, how many classes do we have per week, per month, per course, our live classes, the 2 different types of live classes and their benefits, notes and homework that are expected from students after every class. What does that mean? What do we do with them? Math helper group, really, really important. Parents and their involvement and access to the course. SAT versus ACT. Now, this is an introduction for our digital SAT course. But if you're thinking about ACT as well, I have something important to tell you. Payment. How's our payment done? How much does it cost? Do we have discounts? Free for life? What is that? Well, wait a bit. We're going to discuss this in detail in just a little while. Group discounts, self-prep versus course, and finally, artificial intelligence. All right, guys. So this is what we have prepared for you today. I'm going to try to go fast because I know you guys have questions and I want to answer all of your questions. So let's start. So we are talking, as I said today, about the digital SAT, which is the new SAT launched worldwide in March 2023 that is available in the US from March 2024 and beyond. So after March 2024, there is no old paper SAT. It's only the digital SAT. Okay? Got it, guys? All right. Now, what do we cover in our course? In our course, we basically cover the whole test. And what does the test consist of? Well, it's basically 2 subjects. We have English, which is 50%, and we have math, which is another 50%. This is different from the ACT. So if anybody's interested in ACT, it's a little bit different. For the digital SAT, 50% English, 50% math. The English portion is called reading and writing. So it's one thing called reading and writing, and the math section is just called math. Now, I know I did mention ACT a couple of times here. I just want to explain one thing really quickly. The digital SAT in its new form, starting March 2024 in the US and beyond, is the best version of the SAT ever, and it is better than the ACT. So if you are considering taking which test, digital SAT is much better, in my opinion, as of now. I've been teaching for almost 21 years, solely SAT and ACT. So I've seen so many different versions of the SAT and ACT. They change them every 5 years or so. And I can tell you that this is the best, easiest, I don't know how to explain it. It's just comfortable. That's it. It's the most comfortable version of the SAT yet. Comfortable in learning, comfortable in actually taking the test. Okay. Now, the third thing I want to talk about with the digital SAT test is that it is an adaptive test. What adaptive basically means is the following. The test becomes easier or harder based on your performance on the test. So if you are doing poorly on the test, the questions become easier. If you're doing really well on the test, the questions become more difficult. But wait, the more difficult questions give you more points. So that's how the test is. It adapts to your level. So it's always going to be comfortable. If you're really strong, you'll have challenging questions that you feel comfortable with, but they'll give you lots of points. And if you're weak, you'll get easy questions that you'll be comfortable with, but they're going to give you few points. So it's an adaptive test. And this is new. It's the first time ever for the SAT or ACT to try adaptive testing. And this is the first one, the digital SAT. And it's a really, really good thing because you don't really have the psychological dilemma of finding that the test is really scary and that makes you anxious and therefore you do poorly on the test. This is a big problem that we've been facing with our students forever. This test is actually comfortable. So if you're not really strong, it starts with like easy questions. So it doesn't really shock you into a place where you are anxious and don't want to do anything with the test and you just lose focus. So that's really good. In our next class, we have our reading class, class number 1. It's a free class, free for everybody. You can all attend it. I'll explain a lot of our skills and our hacks. And we're also going to talk about what the adaptive test is exactly. So I do encourage you all to join us in our live free reading class, class number 1. We'll explain this in more details. All right. So the test has English, which is basically reading and writing. Now, reading is basically where we have questions, we have short passages. The short passages are followed, or the short passage is followed by a question asking a particular question about this short passage. Then you move on to another short passage with just one question and so on. So it's really easy, really comfortable, unlike the old SAT or the ACT. For math, you basically cover all the math that you learn in school from 8th grade all the way up to 10th and 11th grade. Okay, so it's just basically all the math you've done with some tricks. So it's tricky. It's not just learning the math. You need to learn the tricks. So that's a little bit hard, and that's why a lot of students have trouble with math. Now, I do want to explain one thing here. If you can all tell me now in the chat and the comments, do you think you're really strong in English and you just need help with math? Or do you think you're really strong with math and you just need help with English? Or do you think you're strong in both? Or do you think you're weak in both? Let me know, please. What do you guys think? Everybody self-reflect and let me know. Now, I'll wait for your answers, okay? But I'm going to jump the gun here and I'm going to start telling you whatever answer you have for me is probably going to be irrelevant. Why? Basically, you have a test where 50% is on English and 50% is on math. Now, let's say I'm really strong in math. So I say, I don't need help with math. I just need help with English. Well, how strong are you enough? If you're strong enough to get 80% of the math questions right, that's great. But how about getting 90%? How about getting 100%? So your aim should be, I want to get 100% of the math section questions right. My other aim is to get 100% of the English section questions right. So whether you think you're strong in one or the other, your aim should be to get 100% on both. So you must prepare for both, and you must study both, and you must practice both. All right? Okay. Which grades is this course for? Now, in the US, our course is one course. So internationally, we usually break down our course into different versions. But for the USA, we have one course for 8th and 9th graders, 10th and 11th graders, and 12th graders. It's the same course. Why? Because here in the US, most 8th and 9th graders will take in school a test called the PSAT. All right. Has anybody here taken the PSAT yet? Let me know, please. It's going to be the digital PSAT. All right. Then in 10th and 11th grade, they'll probably take the SAT, or they'll more than probably. Yeah, most probably they will all be taking the digital SAT in 10th and 11th grade. How about if I'm in 12th grade? Well, yeah, they do take SAT, but your deadline, the last one that you can take, will be in December of, can't write 12, December of 12th grade. Okay. Because that's when you apply, November, December, to universities, to colleges. And the last score that they accept is the December test. So if you're in 8th or 9th grade, you can take our course. It will prepare you for the PSAT, which is just an exact version of the SAT. They're exactly the same. All right. It's like this much shorter, but it's exactly the same. Okay. If you're in 10th or 11th grade, you take the same course because you need to take the SAT now, this year, in 10th or 11th grade, or both. If you're in 12th grade and you're starting our course early so you can take the December test in 12th grade, you're good. If you're too late and you can't take the December test, or if you start after December, then it's useless for you. So the main focus will be on 8th and 9th graders, 10th and 11th graders, and early 12th graders who start like at the very beginning of 12th grade or even before they start 12th grade. All right? Okay. What is covered in our course? We just cover everything that you need to know in English. We cover reading, we cover writing, which is basically grammar, punctuation, some reading questions in writing. That's what we call it. So it's not really writing. It's not essay writing. There is no essay on the digital SAT. It's like the reading section. It's called writing. It's basically grammar, punctuation, transitions, and stuff like that. And we'll explain that in more details as we move along in the course. We learn vocabulary. We learn how to do sentence completion questions, which are questions that are new to the digital SAT. However, they're not new to me. So in the past 10 years, we haven't had sentence completion questions on the SAT or ACT. But before that, we used to have sentence completion questions. So most students now are shocked with sentence completion. Most teachers are shocked because they haven't seen this type of question before because they've only been teaching for the past 10 years or so. But since I've been doing this for a lifetime now, I've seen the college board's sentence completion questions for many, many years, and we have very effective strategies to answer such questions. They're hard, but they're effective, okay? The questions are hard, but the strategies are effective. For math, we just go over 100%. We master all topics, and we do a ton of practice, okay? So in math, this is the way I work. I go from A to Z. I don't care if you're a genius math student or if you're just starting out, we cover everything. Because from my experience, even students who are really strong in math usually don't get 100% on the math section, even though they're really strong, for just one little reason. Because they're strong, they think that they can basically get any question correct. So they focus on hard questions. They work on really advanced stuff. And the test is not all hard questions. We have a few easy questions, a few medium questions, and a few hard questions. So if you just focus on the hard, you miss the medium and the easy, and you lose marks. So we cover everything: easy, medium, and hard. Okay. And we try to make it as fun as possible because I know we have geniuses with us. How long is our course? So basically, our course is 4 months long. So we have 4 months for English, and we have 4 months for math. Now, a month is 4 weeks for us in the course. So the 4 months will actually end up being like 3 months and a half or something. Okay. So we say a month means 4 weeks. Okay. Now we do have like a break around the Christmas break. So basically 4 months. All right. For English and for math. Now you have two options. You can either take the English and math courses together at the same time. So in the same 4 months, finish English and math, or you can take the English first, finish it, then do the math, or start with the math, finish it, then do the English. It's up to you. If you're going to do both together, you'll finish everything in 4 months. If you're going to do each one separately, you'll finish everything in 8 months. All right? And it's up to you entirely. How many classes? So for English, we have 2 classes per week. And for math, we have something entirely different. We have 2 classes per week. All right. So 2 classes per week for English, 2 classes per week for math. So you can either take just the English, 2 classes per week, or you can take just the math, 2 classes per week, or you can take both together. Then you'll have 4 classes per week. All right. Our live classes. We have 2 different types of live classes in our course. First is my favorite, which is Facebook Live. And second is what most people do, which is Zoom Live. So we use both. But I use Facebook Live for our main content, for our syllabus, curriculum, for the main classes. So here is where we do all our instruction, all our practice and everything. We do it on Facebook Live. And I'm going to explain why. I know some people are not familiar with Facebook Live. Actually, I know some people in the US don't have Facebook at all. And look at me trying to fix my U by ruining my O. All right, now it looks like, of course. And Zoom Live is what we use for something we call clinic, which is something we do like maybe once a month, once every 2 weeks. It really depends. It's optional. It's where you guys can come in and ask me questions, where we can like discuss things that are important to the course. I can give you more information about our upcoming options and courses and so on. It's where we do revision classes like before the tests, something we call master classes. So it's not the main course. It's where we do additional work, optional work. But the main course is usually on Facebook Live. And let me tell you all that I've been teaching online for a very long time. So I know you all know now that I've been doing this for a long time, but I've also been teaching online for a very long time. Before there was Zoom, before there was Microsoft Teams, before there was Google Meet, before there was even a lot of these applications that we use today. I used to use something called Skype almost, 16, 17 years ago when it was still really new. And I would use that in conjunction with an Indian app that was based in India that nobody actually knew about. And I would use both apps together, and I'd have a setup where I'd have multiple cameras, and it was really complicated. Now it's so much easier. So over the years, I've changed the way I deliver my online classes. I've been trying to improve them, and I do improve them every year. And I really think that Facebook Live is something that most people are not aware of. They don't know how useful it is for me as a teacher and for you as students. So on Facebook Live, and you're going to see this in our live class number 1, the free class, reading class 1 that I told you all about, it's going to be on Facebook Live. So you're going to see how it works. Basically, the way we interact is through the comments, through the chat. We use stickers, we use GIFs, we use I can message you inside the class really quickly. You can go back after the class is done and revise certain parts really quickly. If you ask a question during class and you don't get an answer from me, after class, I can actually click on like a timestamp, see your question and know what exactly you were asking about, and then I can answer you even after class. Students and parents can go back and watch the video essentially immediately after the live class is done. I have so many statistics that help me make a better course and help you and tailor work to you. I know how long you've been on the video. I know if you've been interacting or not, your comments. I can see lots of things. We can overlay questions and polls on top of the live video. There are a lot of things. I don't want to like make this too academic for everybody here. I know you're not teachers, we do train teachers. That's my other part of my company, where we actually train teachers how to teach. And maybe if somebody's interested, you can watch some of my videos there later on. But anyway, Facebook Live is something most people don't know how to use to teach. I think it's really effective. I've been using it for many years, and I hope you will enjoy the way we use it. And you'll see for yourselves in our live free class, Reading Class 1. All right, notes and homework. Very, very easily, we're just going back all the way to basics, the way people have been learning for hundreds of years. You need to take notes for everything we do in our course. You'll have a book, something like what you can see now on the board. I'll be writing stuff on the board. You will write using a pen. Imagine a pen or a pencil on an actually printed book. It's really important, okay? Because this is how we learn well as human beings. Just looking and watching is not as effective as watching, listening, using your hand, using pen and paper. It all builds up in your brains. So you're going to write notes. You're going to do homework every class. You're going to send me your notes and your homework, and I'm going to show you how once we start our course. Math Helper Group is actually a really, really nice thing that I started a couple of years ago. It's a group on Facebook. It's a private group that's only for my students who are taking our math courses, okay, worldwide. Worldwide, okay? Pay attention to this. Why is that important? Because when you have a math question, if you're stuck with any question from anything we are doing in class or homework, anything like that, and you don't understand from my explanation in class, you have some trouble with something, you post your question on that group. And you say, for example, why is the answer B? I got C, please help. Then we will answer you. Either I will answer you or our full-time math teacher will answer you. So we have a full-time math teacher. We have a full-time English teacher who work with me and help me. So someone will answer you, either me or her or she, because I will answer, she will answer. So it's either I or she, not me or her. It's called a pronoun mistake 3.3. Anyway, somebody will answer you, and will answer you with either a written answer like text, or we'll write notes over the question itself, or we may even record a video for you. Now, the good thing about this is that you have a place to go back and look at all your questions. You can filter the questions on the group to just see your questions with the answers. So it's going to be nice and organized. Number two, and this is where all my students all over the world comes and why it's really important, because you might not have a particular question, but you can search the group for the questions of your colleagues all over the world who are taking our course now, or who took it last month, or who took it last 6 months, or who took it last year. Okay. And you can actually see their questions with our answers to them. And you can filter the questions and you can search for different topics. So it's a very important database that will help you improve, study, and learn. Even if you don't have questions, you can benefit from the questions of your colleague, right? So that's the Math Helper Group, really important. Okay, parents, how are parents involved? Now, it's so easy. Parents just have 100% access, okay, to our live classes, to our videos, to our chat, everything. So anywhere our students are during the course, the parents are there as well. You have 100% access. You can attend our classes live. You can watch the live classes after they're done. You can watch any videos I send to the students for like extra work. You can see their questions. You can see my answers. You can see their answers to my questions. You are in our chat together. So you're everywhere. So it's like you're at school and you basically have the key to the school, to the classroom, and you're welcome to walk in anytime, ask any questions, see everything, look, observe, no secrets, okay? And that's really important. Also, we have reports that we put out for parents regarding their children's progress, okay? We also are on Messenger. I'm personally on Messenger almost 24 hours a day if I'm not asleep, and I don't get any sleep, so I'm almost there 24 hours a day, and we interact daily with our parents. And if you have any questions, any concerns, you just reach out to me directly, okay? Okay, what else? SAT versus ACT. So very, very simply put, SAT, the digital SAT is easier and better. The ACT will change very soon and copy the digital SAT. Mark my word, because they've been doing this for almost, I don't know, 70, 80 years now. They've just been copying each other. If anybody changes at the test, the other one goes in, changes its test as well. So ACT will be changing soon. But for now, SAT, in my opinion, is easier or better. Okay, what about if you need to take the ACT? Like some states, I don't know if anybody here has a requirement, they need to take the ACT to graduate high school. In that case, what will you do with our course right here? You'll take our digital SAT course, which I'm talking about today. And after you're done, you will take one more month to understand the differences between what you learned with me and the ACT. So basically, if you take my course for digital SAT and you decide that you also want to try for the digital SAT, and you decide that you also want to try the ACT, you just need to take one more month with me in English, one more month with me in math to learn the differences, the additions that are on the ACT and not digital SAT. Okay, so you don't have to start a course all over again. But if you have the choice, I think you should choose digital SAT. All right, payment, everybody's favorite. So we have two benefits in the way we make you pay for the course. Unlike most courses here in the US, we don't charge one fee for the entire course. So if, for example, you take a course with Kaplan, Princeton Review, any of the other well-known SAT prep companies, I actually was going to work at Kaplan one time, New Jersey. I don't remember where it was. Anyway, so they have a very strange method. So anyway, all of these test centers or test prep centers in the United States, they usually charge you one fee, like $1,000 for the whole course. And what they usually do is they have students come in every Saturday and every Sunday for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and you stay for like 6 hours each day. So it's like school, basically, a very intensive course. And from my experience and from what I teach my teachers, this is not the way our brains work. So if you cram everything in like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, 6 hours at a time, that's not how you get a good score on the SAT. You get it by making your learning spaced out, by taking your time to master everything. That's why we finish everything in like 4 months, not 4 weeks. So we make you pay month by month. All right. So if you take the first month of our course, then you decide that you don't want to continue. You don't have to continue. You don't have to pay for the whole 4 months. Okay. If you take the first month of the course, then you have some kind of problem at school where you have like tests and you're swamped with work. You can take a month off of the course and then join us for level 2, for part 2 of the course, the following month. I don't encourage that, but you can if you want. Okay. We also have a discount for students who will be paying for the full course, not at once. You still pay month by month. But if you're going to take all of the English and all of the math, you will get a discount at the very last month. So how much do we pay? We pay $120 per month for English. And math is exactly the same, $120 per month for math. Okay? Now, if you take the 4 months English and the 4 months math, so a total of 8 months, the 8th month is going to be free. So 8th month is free. Okay? Whether you take the English and math together at the same time, so you finish everything in 4 months, or if you take them separately, your last month of either English or math, one of them will be free. So that's basically minus $120. Okay, that's what we call our full course discount. So if you're going to take everything, you will not multiply 8 by 120, you will multiply 7 by 120. Okay, got it? Perfect. Now, I do want to tell you that our usual rate per month was $240 per month. But now, because we have so much demand, we are able to discount the price, basically 50% off what it used to be. Okay. So some of you here may have taken one of my courses before, maybe last year or something, and you guys were paying 240 per month. Now we're paying 120 per month only. All right, what's free for life? I like that. Free for life basically says that after you finish the full course, if you take everything and you finish everything, you can attend with me free for whatever time you want, for as long as you want. You can attend any revision classes that I do, any clinic classes that we do, any master classes that we do. And these are basically live classes that we do frequently, basically maybe once a month at least, where we have this revision class, a master class, once for the ACT, once for the digital SAT, once reading, once math. So we do those frequently, and these are only for our paying students. But if you finish the full course with us, you can attend those for free for life. So if you take the course in 8th grade and you finish the course completely, English and math and everything, you can attend any of these classes with me in the rest of 8th grade and 9th grade and 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, until you are fed up with me. Okay? As long as I do those classes. So if I, retire or pass away or something, and I stop those classes, then hard luck for you. Okay. Group discounts. So this is actually really tricky. We did not have group discounts for students in the US before. Okay. We actually didn't have group discounts for anybody worldwide before. And we started a program where we have those group discounts for students internationally. Just like a few months ago, we started that. I was reluctant to start it here for US students, but I think it's only fair since we're offering it to students in other countries, we should offer it to you as well. So it's going to be pretty simple here. Basically, if one student is taking our course, I can't write today. One student is taking our course. So let's say Jimmy is taking the course. He's going to sign up for himself to take the course. He'll pay $120 per month for English or for math. All right. But what if Jimmy has a brother or a sister and they both register for the course at the same time? They basically pay together. Now, keep this in mind. Each one of them will have his or her separate account. They'll attend classes live from their separate accounts. They'll answer questions. They'll do homework. They'll contact me. They'll do everything separately. So they don't have to be like living together. Okay. But basically, just to incentivize them to encourage each other, if they decide on taking the course at the same time and register together, whether they're siblings, whether they're relatives, whether they're even friends, will apply the group discount, then each one of them will pay $110 per month. Okay, so that's almost 10% off. Now, if we have 3 or more students, okay, who register at the same time, each one of them will pay only $100 per month each. All right, guys? So it's that simple. All right? So I see some people didn't get this part because of their connection. So let's say it again. So basically, if it's one student, you're registering by yourself for the course, you pay $120 per month for English and $120 per month for math. If you have a friend with you and you both register at the same time, you pay together, each one is going to pay $110 only. If you have 3 or more people in a group together, you're all paying at the same time, you're all going to attend separately, okay? But each one is going to pay $100 each, okay? So it can actually go like 20% lower if you have 3 or more students. Now, here's an important question that I don't see a lot of people asking, but I think we should all ask ourselves. Do I need to take a course? Like, why do you take this course? Can't we just self-prep and work by ourselves? Now, first of all, you can, all right? Just so you know, you can. And a lot of students do, and they get really, really, really high marks, and they're great, and they go to Harvard, and everything is good. But most students don't have this ability to study and prep and have the like the diligence and the self-propelling, attitude to work by themselves. So they need to take a course. And I actually found this on, it was in the New York Times, and it's really interesting. So I just want to explain this really quickly. Now, this was published in New York Times on October 23rd, 2023. So you can always go back and reference it. This is a graph where they found that the percent of SAT test takers who scored 1300 or higher, so 1300 out of 1600, that's considered a good score. Okay. We usually aim for 1500 plus. So that's my aim. Okay. Because we want you to get into Yale and Brown and UPenn, Harvard, MIT, Caltech. We want you to go to those really high grade colleges, universities, call them whatever you want. Okay. You don't have to, but this is what we want you to be able to do. And then you can choose to go wherever you want. But 1300 out of 1600 is a good score. All right. Now, the percent of SAT test takers who scored 13% or higher were found to correlate to the income of their parents. So if you're in the top 20% income-wise in the US, like if you're rich, see richer right here, there's 17% of the students who got over 1300 were from the top 20%. Or actually, I think it's the other way around. Like 17% of rich students got 1300 or more. Poorer students who are in the bottom 20% income-wise, only 2.4% of those students got 1300 or higher. Why do students from rich families score higher than students from poorer families? Could be for many reasons. What the article suggests, what most people think, is because students from higher income families can afford to have their children take a professional test prep course. That's why they score higher. But students from lower income can't afford that, so they just rely on free programs in their schools, in local libraries, or they self-prep. And that's why only a small percentage score high. All right? Got it? So this doesn't mean that you need to take a course. It just means that this is the fact of the way the US system is. And unfortunately, it's sad, but that's the way it is. Okay, last point here, then we can take your questions. Artificial intelligence. If you've been following me at all on YouTube or on Facebook or anywhere, you know that I have been talking about artificial intelligence quite a bit. I study it, I use it, I follow it daily. And it's a very important part of our course going forward. We use the smartest version, the latest version of GPT. You may know it as ChatGPT, the latest version, which is GPT-4, then GPT 4.5, GPT-5, which is like the paid version, the enterprise version of GPT. And we use this artificial intelligence to analyze the work our students do to try to make it better, to tailor what we need to give them to improve their scores. And we do this to tailor both the practice that we give them and the instruction, the way that we explain. So artificial intelligence is very important. It just becomes important day after day, and we're using this in our course daily. If you need to contact me, if you have any questions whatsoever, you can message us on Messenger to our official page, which is Gouda SAT, just one word, search on Facebook, it'll open our page, click on message, or on Messenger, write Gouda SAT, one word, and send us a message there. All right, guys? Thank you so much for your attention. I hope I covered most of the questions you guys have. If you have any other questions, please let me know now, and I'll be happy to answer your questions right away. All right, go ahead in the chat, please, if you have any questions for me. If there's anything that I did not cover, please let me know in the chat. Okay, come on, guys. Any questions? Now, before you go, if you don't have any questions, you may go. Just remember, please, that we have our reading class number 1. It's a free class. And the way we have this set up is we actually have our first class of the course. It's like the actual first class. It's not like an introductory class like this one. It's the actual first class where you have the book, you have everything in front of you. I explain our skills and our hacks and how we answer reading and important things to pay attention to, what the digital SAT is. It's entirely free. Attend the whole class. After class is done, we will open registration for the course. If you'd like to join us, you are more than welcome to join us. So please make sure that you join us for this class. So for this month, it's on Wednesday, October 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Wednesday, October 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. Now, schedule. Here's a question. When are the classes going to be? Like what day? Okay, so the actual schedule will be available after the first class. So tomorrow after class, you'll get a copy of the schedule. Basically, our classes will be on Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday, it's either going to be at 12 p.m. or 1:30 p.m., something around noontime, Eastern Standard Time. So I'll let you know exactly once we finalize the schedule for this month. And our Wednesday class will be also around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So if you're in California, that's 4 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're in Tennessee, then that's, let's see, 6 p.m. Okay, your time. If you are in the Eastern United States, it's 7 p.m. on Wednesday. That is the preliminary schedule, and that's for the English. For the math, it'll also be one on Sunday. So we're going to have two classes on Sunday, English class and a math class. And the other one I think is going to be on Tuesday. I don't have the schedule now. It's still not finalized. I will finalize it, and you will have access to the schedule tomorrow after our free reading class. All right? Okay. So that was a question about our schedule. Any other questions, people? All right. Sarah's asking, when will the math start? So my plan is to start the English course right away. So we're starting next week, and then start the math course a month later, approximately a month later. Okay. So most probably we will start the math course around mid-November, and the English course will start right now. Again, tomorrow, after we finish our first class, it's a free class. So attend it, everybody. Okay. Even if you have no intention of taking the course, I think it's going to be beneficial. So come, please. I'm going to put the schedule on our Facebook group, which has everything for our first class. It's going to be live on Facebook. So if you're not in the Facebook group, that's called Level 1 USA October 2023 first class. If you're not in that group, send me a message so I can add you. Okay, very important, because the class is going to be live on the group. I will put our schedule. I'll let you know when we'll start math and everything. And I'm also thinking about doing something, just so you all know, thinking of doing another Zoom, because we're missing a lot of people today. We'll do another Zoom meeting like this one, probably on Saturday, this Saturday, coming Saturday. I'll let you know when. So follow the group. Please make sure you're there. I'm going to post the link, and we'll try to answer your questions and give you more details about the schedule and everything once it's finalized. Okay, Justina is asking, is there a paper book or just digital? Now, Justina, if I'm not sure what you mean by paper book. If you mean the book that I use for you in our course, it will be a PDF file that you will need to print. It needs to be on paper. Okay. Maybe next month we'll have a version of that on Amazon that you can just purchase right away. But the book is useless by itself. It's not actually a book. It's like a workbook. So it has lots of blanks. Okay. And you fill in all this during the course. So it's not a book that you can study by yourself, like any of the books behind me right here. Okay. It's a book where we use inside our course, and you actually write using your own handwriting in the book. So yes, there is a book, and it's printed. If you're asking about whether the prep course is prepping for the digital SAT only or also the paper SAT, if you're taking the paper SAT in November or December of 2023 in the United States, we have an intensive course for that one in particular that may work for you. So you need to send me a message and let me know if you are interested in this. But what we're doing here is only 100% digital SAT starting March 2024. All right. Sarah, can you please send me and my mom the group link, please? Yes. Can you send me a message, please, on Messenger and remind me, and I'll send it to you tonight. Okay. Okay. Justina, same thing. You need to send me a message on Messenger so I can send you the group. Okay. Messenger is Gouda SAT. Just tell me, I'm Justina. I attended your US intro class today. I need the link to enter the group so I can attend tomorrow's class. And Sarah did the same thing, please. All right, guys. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody with any other questions? All right. I hope you enjoyed our intro class today. And for those of you who joined us late, and for those of you who did not join us at all, we recorded this class and the video will be available on the group. I'll also send you private messages with the video, with the recording of this class. I hope to see you all. Remember, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, October 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, we have our free reading class. We'll explain what the digital SAT is again, and then we're going to go into reading. It's going to be a very important class. After class, I'll let you know the schedule. And we might even have another free Zoom meeting like this one next Saturday, where I will answer your questions further and explain the schedule better. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. See you all in our next classes. Thank you so much for attending. It's been great. Thank you.